let me know when you're good. You're online, right, not Mike? All right. Good? Yeah, good. All right. Coach, whenever you're ready, sir.
All right, guys, 4 days in, and a lot of good quality work, certainly taking a break here, and players will be back on March the 19th on Sunday there, and we'll check them in and crank it back up. So let's get to the questions. What do we got here?
What's your, instruction for the players? Because they get a week off, but if you come back after not doing anything for a week, you might not get the same kind of work in practice 5.
Yeah, no, we've got protocol for, with Mark and Joe and that staff. Part of the equation, too, is we got a lot of guys that are rehabbing, or maybe need treatment. So, covered all that this morning pretty extensively with the staff and then certainly with the players just now. So we've done this before, but I do think what your point is a great point. It's important that they remain active. We'll have prescribed work for those guys each day, and certainly the guys that need treatment at rehab will be the same way.
What are you seeing so far from Graham Mertz as far as picking up the offense, knowing what to do with football?
Yeah, no, I've been impressed with Graham. I think Graham's made a great impression on all parts of the organization, and then certainly I think on his teammates as well, right? He's been very diligent from the first day, really aggressive, oftentimes doing two-a-days in the building the majority of the day, and just really a professional approach. Very self-aware. There's some experience there. I think the guy's a really good communicator, and he's got a great grasp of what's happening out there. So very evident that the guys, he started 32 games at a really good program. So excited about Graham and what he's done so far and then what he's capable of doing in the future.
What does stand out to you about his, from a mechanical standpoint, footwork?
Yeah, no, I think he's first of all, he's got good stature. He's close to 6'3", he weighs about 220 pounds, and a guy that's got arm talent, and I thought in particular he's gotten a little bit better each day. I mean, you guys are out there a little bit, but I thought day 3 in particular, the ball pretty jumped out of his hand. And then I thought he had a nice day today. So, I think new group of skill players, and really they work in the winter, but I think this is really spring training and they have a chance to get some chemistry with the skill players. So it's good to see that he's making progress. Thought he took another step forward today.
In terms of overall roster size, where are you at? I know you talked about the walk-on Army, but can you give us a number as of where you'd like to be right now?
We're at I think we're training 105 players out there right now, which is good. There's 27 new scholarship players, and then we have about, I would say, 5 other walk-ons that are brand new. So we're making progress. We're not quite to that 135 number. Part of that is the academic exceptions. It's going to take us a couple rotations, a couple cycles here. We've got to retain the ones that we do add to the team. And then we have to, the ones that do get into school, those are awesome. And then obviously we have a few that we can use some exceptions there. So I'm very pleased. The administration's done a lot to help us. And I think that so far so good in that regard.
Coach Hockey's talking about Shamar James's strength gains. How's that shown up on the field so far, and what are your expectations for his role in development this spring?
Yeah, first of all, Shamar was not a mid-year player last year, right? So he really showed up there late May, early June. So he's made even more progress, I think, year 1 to year 2. So not only mentally, I think, out there as a football player, but there's no question physically really bought into the nutrition, recovery, the strength and conditioning. Our whole performance team, I think, has done a really good job so far. And we set goals in the beginning relative to body composition, DEXA 2 to DEXA 3. We'll find out where he's at the end of the semester, but I think he's done a nice job.
You guys really attacked the transfer portal to retool the offensive line. What have you seen from Mazuka, Keontae, and Damian?
Yeah, all 3 really good, really good additions to the team. Mazuka is played a little bit more football than the others, but he's 6'4" 3/4, 320 pounds, and really can move. Plays well on the second level. Good demeanor about him. I think football IQ is there. Been pleased with how he's picked things up. A lot of carryover there systematically. Damian George is off to a really good start. He started 4 games, I think, in 21, and then he was a consistent backup basically from day one. So 2.5 years of taking reps, at the University of Alabama. So he's been very good. He's vocal. He's a good communicator. And then certainly Keontae, just has all the ability in the world. 6'7.5". He's lost probably 29, 30 pounds since he's gotten here. He's under 350, and he's moving well. So he's still a young player, not much experience there, but, really good tools and a guy that's got a bright future in front of him.
What are your takeaways so far on the defense and how they've kind of handled the coordinator change?
Yeah, no, it's been really positive. And I think year 2, there's enough carryover systematically to where I think Austin's learning what they know, putting his spin on it, and then certainly taking his approach from a personality standpoint. But it's important to know here, I think, not only all the players in the second year, but all the coaches as well, right? So just in terms of our year-round plan, much more comfortable with how to allocate their time. And then we've added a lot of really new players on that side of the ball. So, been very pleased. That group is off to a good start.
What do you remember about Austin because he was a GA at Louisiana when you got there, right?
Mm-hmm.
He make an impact on you pretty early?
Yeah, no, we retained him, and then he spent the first year with us. He worked closely with Ron Roberts and the inside backers. Made a great impression on us. Obviously, Ron was the coordinator. He was a GA, so he, had a little bit more responsibility than maybe a typical GA. Felt strongly about him. And, obviously at that point, Kirby and I had known each other, and, we communicated about getting him there and, being in our system to some degree, if that makes sense, so that year was beneficial at Georgia for him. Our inside backer job came open, we brought him back immediately. So, and Patrick obviously was promoted to DC, felt strongly about Austin, we brought him back. So, and then 1 year later, the guy's calling defenses. So, he's a good one.
You mentioned communication. What do you say out of Taraja Mitchell as far as being the communicator in the middle and kind of the traffic cop?
Yeah, no, I think Taraja's taking advantage of the opportunity there with Wingo being limited due to the surgeries, and then certainly Scooby's been a little bit limited as well, right? So Taraja is a former team captain at Ohio State. A guy's been around college football in a successful program. Very bright, very articulate, guy that, communicates at a high level. So he's making the others around him better with that communication. He's a big player. He's 245 pounds, and there's some physical presence there in the middle that I think he brings.
What are you seeing so far from the safeties?
Yeah.
Maury and Mitchell Young?
Yeah, no, both are back. Both, those are two players that have experience. Perkins obviously is there. We've been playing Jaden Hill in that room a little bit too at Star. But no, that's a position where we're a little thin. It's one of the positions on our team where the young players are being forced into the mix, right? Sharif Denson, Jordan Castell, Bryce Thornton, Jamarcus Weston is flashed over there. So that's a room that I think is one of the more – it's a thin room, and it's very competitive, and young players are going to have to be ready to play.
2 more questions, guys. Zach and then Nick.
I'm guessing you were able to see Anthony's combine. From your perspective, what changes about an offense when you lose a 99 percentile athletic quarterback, if much?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, it's interesting, right? We all know Anthony, heck, incredible athlete, right? But now I'm looking at my notes from last year. You remember this time last year, Anthony was coming off the surgery, really participated in spring. We had to keep him in the pocket, and he wasn't able to run around. So, but no, I mean, I think really unique in his ability to make plays with his feet. I couldn't be more proud of the guy. I mean, he made a decision to go out. He bet on himself to some degree, knowing that he was very capable, and he dominated historic numbers at the quarterback position. So the thing I'm really proud of is the interview process, the football. I think he's really made – I know in our year together, he made tremendous progress relative to his understanding of the overall picture. It's good to see all that paying off.
Nick, you mentioned Scooby inside, but he was listed at edge. Just is he cross training, or do you have a spot?
Yeah, he's playing in both rooms. He's playing Sam, in some of the bigger personnel groupings. So, and I do think he's got situational. He's a sub rusher. Scooby's 6'2.5". We threw him out there a little bit at the end of the year last year. I thought he's got a knack for rushing the passer. So, but I still think the guy can play inside backer, play Sam, sub rusher. He was back today, did more than he's been doing, and flashed a little bit out there today.
And how do you think Coach Decker's done as a graduate assistant, guy being able to lead the room?
Yeah, a lot on his plate. But Deck's been with us for a couple of years, and then certainly while we're in transition here, great experience for him. And I know the players respect him and appreciate how hard he's working. And so, spring break here, we'll continue to do our homework, but couldn't be more proud of Decker. And Decker's got a bright future in front of him.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
26 or 27, David? How old is he?
Great question. He's young.